Hello guys, you're welcome back to this the Django series. Last time we were able to do something like this. We created the front end of our blog, and then today I'm going to try to create a single session for each of the posts that we are going to post, and again I'm going to try to add the comment section so that you can make a comment under a post in each single section. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to my code, and then first I have to go to my view and then define another view for the single. I'm going to say def, then I'm going to call it single, which is single post, and then it has a parameter request as usual, and this is going to have another parameter which I'm going to call post. Let me make a post ID since I already have a post, and then I'm going to return a render which has a request, and then the HTML document that will be returning the address, though I've not yet created it, but let me just add it here so I could go and create it. So block slash single dot HTML, and then what I may return, I think here I'm going to need this single post. Okay, so I'm going to say our post here is going to be post dot object dot get, because I want to get one particular post out of all the list of posts that we have. So, and then what I'm going to use to get the post is either with the ID, because we all know that each post has a unique ID, or I can use primary key for that. So if the primary key is equal to my external parameter that I added, post ID, then it will get it from me. I think that's all I need for now. And I have to go and create this in my blog, the single.html. So I'll go to my HTML part, and then under my blog, I'll create a new file, single.html, and then I have to save this. Then in the single, I'm going to extend our layout, and I think block layout .html, that's all. Then block body, and then block. Then here I'm going to enter what I need, which I already have my post. Then what am I going to do with the post? So let me just look at it here. So I want to get a single post here. I'm going to say in my single post dot title. So I don't have to use for loop here again, because I'm using get, and get will only get me one element out of the list, but I have to put it in the curly braces to see if it's going to return the title for me. And I have to define the URL again, where I have to go and view my single post. So in my URL, and also part open bracket, this time it's not going to be a default part, but I'm going to use this just like I did in my first video. This time I'm using extra parameter. I'm going to say, not string again, but int, because I'm using the ID, and the IDs are in integer. The first post is 1, the second post is 2, and so on and so forth. So if it is integer, then I think the integer is also my post ID, and the views I want to display is views.single, and the name is single. So I already have the URL, I already have the document. Then I have to create the link now in my index.html so that each of the title will be a link that will take me to that particular place where I have to like make the click on the link, and then it will take me to the single post. So I'm going to say use the a tag and then specify the URL here, which I'm going to say URL. I'm going to use single tag because we're in the double quotes, and then where's the URL again? After the URL, then what we are going to do to like link this is, if you go to our URL here, you see that it has a name and the name is single. So I'm going to come here and then call the name single, and then remember it has a parameter, second parameter. So I'm going to specify what the argument is going to be here, which I want to be post.id. So that's what I want the argument to be. And then because our parameter is post ID, something like that, but this .id will get the ID of each of the posts. And then I think I have to put this from here and then put it somewhere here. Save this, and I'll try to visit my site and see what happened. I think everything is right. Then they said reverse single dash. I think something went wrong. Okay, I think here is for posting post, I should use post.id, and then I'll refresh, and then you see I have my post back now, and each of the heading is in form of the URL now. So if I click anyone, it's expected to take me to a particular post, but they said they extend we forgot to register or load in this tag extend. So I think I made a typo again. So I'm going to go there. Instead of X, I used N and tens, which is wrong. I should have used extends. And then you see I'm getting the title now, Lambo. So what I'm going to do now is, in my single, aside from the title, I also want to get the image. So I can also use the URL. But let me just check my index. Most of the things here, I want to use them. So I'll just go and copy this. Copy it. Go back to my single and put it here. So I have to add a break here. I believe that will work. Okay, let me check and see. Let's refresh. And then you see everything is working now. And now if we click on any of our posts, you can see that we have both the image and the text displayed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to like add a comment box down below that after reading the post, you may decide to like post a comment or drop a comment. And to do that, I'm going to go back to my text editor, and then I'm going to create a form here in my single that we can use to like do that. I think I should make here h3 and then comments. This C has to be capital, and then here I'm going to say form, and then the form action is going to be where we want to like drop the comment, and where I would love to drop my comment is in my URL for post single. And I believe by now you should know where the single is. Single is the name I give to my app in view here. So when I say single, this single, and the URL here is the name I'm using, single here. So if any name you give to your URL is what you use to like link it. So I'll say single, and then it has a parameter which is going to be I think post dot ID. That's the return argument. I believe that's what it is. And then also has a method. We also have method, and then the method I want is post. Although we have two methods, basically we have the get and the post. Post enable us to like post content or like to drop our content for the users to see, and then get enable us to like get a response from the user as well. So what I'm going to do under here, we have a particular way of creating forms in Django that Django offers to us. But I'm just going to show you the basic way of creating form. So instead of doing it in this way, impute, and then you just say form test, and then you just come and say name like we used to do in HTML, and then come here and say impute, and then submit. And when I go back to my project and refresh, you see that I get a form here and the submit button, but it's not really the official way of doing it in Django. I can add as many forms as I wish to add, but if I want to get a form in Django, there is a best approach that, sorry, I deleted it wrong. So there's a way we do it in Django, which is super awesome. You're going to see it in a minute. So first of all, I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to call it forms.py. And then in my forms.py, I'm going to define all the structures of my form just like I did for models. It's not that hard if you understand it. So, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import forms. Sorry, I'm going to import forms, but the forms is going to come from like this, from the Django import forms. So from the Django import forms, and then class just like we have in model. And then the name of the class is going to be, and then I want to get to my form, which is comment form, and the parameter is going to be forms of dot form. And then here the first attribute of my form is going to be name, and the name is equal to forms dot character field, and then the label, which is the label I'm using in the font, equal to the label should be name. And I would also want to set a maximum length for it, so I'm going to say max length equals to, we just make it 64. So with this I already have a form for the name, and then I need the form for the body again, since this is going to be for the comment. And then for the body is going to still repeat the same procedure, char field, but slightly different. So in my body I will not be needing a label, so I'm just going to leave the label empty. I will use my styles to add them to it. Then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to set a widget, sorry. And then the widget is going to be equal to forms dot, as we capital letter test area, which is the area of my test, and then the test area has its own parameter, and in the test area I have address to, which in it this address is equal to this dictionary, and inside it I'm going to define some CSS which I will be using in my form. So I'm going to say class, but it has to be in form of key and values, class, and then the class is going to be equal to form control, and this helps me control the form. And then the next one is placeholder. That is what will display in my form by default. I'm going to set the placeholder to comment here, and then the rows, I'm going to set the row to 4 rows, it's okay, and then the columns, is going to be like 50, or let's say 50 columns, so you can type as long as you wish to type. And then this is a dictionary. I think I need to add comma to each of them, and then I'll save this. Then I'll go to my views and import my form. I'm going to say from dot forms, import from dot form, import comment form, and then I think everything is okay. Let me bring my picture here so I could send everything. That's it. No model named blog forms. Whoa. So let me check my form. So you can see my form is inside my HTML tag, which is not what I want. So I'm going to move it out. So I now have my form here. I'm going to go back to my view, and then here I may decide to like return my form. So let's say form, and then my form is going to be equal to comment form, which is the name of the form that I just imported. And then I'll try to save this again, and everything is working fine now. So now instead of using the form I just used before, I'll just go back to my singles and then say defined form like this, form, and then save this, go back to my browser and refresh. Then you see that I have a form which has a name and then which has a submit button. I think my comment is very long. If you don't really want it this large, you can reduce the number of columns you want in your comment. But right now my forms really do nothing. So if I try to like type my name and then type whatever I want to type and submit, then you see it returns error from me saying the SCRF verification field request aborted. This CSRF means cross-site request forgery. Cross-site request forgery. So there's every possibility that another user can forge a request to like trick users to like send a request to them. So with this, the Django can help us. The Django has a special feature that helps us to like check every request that we are sending or receiving from the user. So that's why we have to like include this in order to like make our form give us the permission to like submit our form. So to do that, I have to go back to my form, and then under where I put my form, under this form, and then I'll do this. As a CSRF token. So this will help Django to like check if the we are submitting the form to the right person and not the request that is forged by another user. So that's why we have to like do this. And then when I save this and go back to my site, so I just close my site. And then rerun my server and click the URL, and then you see I go to my post back, I go to the individual post, and then I'll try to like submit again. Let's say I use the new Emmanuel, and then type whatever I want to type, and then click on submit. Then you see that I submitted but nothing happened. So I have to like define an action, or to like I want to like print this whatever I type here under my submit button. So to do that, I have to like include some verification as well. Already we have a client-side verification here that I can just type name, and I cannot submit without dropping a comment here. But we don't have anything like a backend verification, and that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to set a backend verification, and that's one of the awesome advantage of using the Django, because we can use both front-end verification and backend verification. So I'll go back to my code now, and that's my view, and then I will come here and I'll say if request dot method equal to post in uppercase. I don't want this for sake. And then I have to like put the two dots. If the request dot method is equal to this post, and then that's if the method we just set the other time is equal to the post, then we have to say form is going to be equal to our form is going to be equal to comment form, and not just empty comment form just like the way we have here, but we are going to populate our comment form by saying request dot post. That should be a capital letter too. Post, and then this will help populate our form. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to like check if our form is valid. I'm going to say if form dot is valid, that is, if our form is valid, then I'm going to return all this. Then name, I can just return it like this straight. I can just say form dot cleaned data. Form dot cleaned data is equal to form dot cleaned data, then name, which is the name we used in our form. So if the form is valid, then we can return this name. But I'm going to set this name to another variable we call name. And then aside from the name too, I also have to like do this for the body. So I'm going to say body is equal to form dot clean data, and then I'm going to say body. Then I'm going to create a list for my body and form where I'll be putting all the comments and everything. I'm going to come up here, and then I'm going to say name is equal to this empty list, and then comment is equal to this empty list. So I'll just go back to my code, and then I'll say name. I think I've already used name. I think I should just make it a little bit different by adding X. So I'll just say names dot append. Then I'll append this name into our names list, and then I'll just say comments dot append. I hope there's no space. Dot append. Then I'll append our comment, our body, into the comment. And then I have to do some tests too. So if the request here is not equal to post, then what will happen? That's what I want to define here. If the request is not equal to post, then I want it to like return the same thing we have here. Then I'll paste this, and it will return the same thing we have there for me. And then I have to like come here, because I want to like in my list I'm going to be appending a lot of things. So since I'm not going to be putting it in my SQL, since I'm not going to be saving my names and comments in my SQLite, I don't want to have all the list of the comments and everything. So I'm going to pick only the last comment and display it, only the last name and display it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say name. Already we have names as the list. I'm going to say name is equal to names, which is the list, and then -1, which will help us pick the last element. And then I'll just say comments too, which is the comment, and then it's equal to comments, which is the list. And then I'll just pick only the last comments and display them. I don't want to display all of them. So I'm going to save this again. And then I have to like come down here to like put them here, so I will be able to like use them in my HTML. So I'll just put a comma here, and then go down and then say the key name. I'm going to make it names now, so that I will assign it to name. We already know what name is already. And then the key comment, I will assign it to comment. And I think I need a comma here too. Then I will save this. So with this, I think I should be able to like get my comments and my list here. I'm going to say, I think here, sorry. I'm going to say comments history. And then look for this and then put it in quotation mark. So once I just come back here and I do something like this, names, and then get the comments, and I save this, go and refresh. very good. And you see I got my name back, but I could not get the comment back. So I think I have to check the comment. What is wrong? I think I used capital C where I'm supposed to use small letter C. So I'm going to go back again. And then I'm going to refresh this. So you see, I got my very good back. So next time I'm going to work on how this will look. I'm even going to structure all my comments so that it will look a little bit better. Or at least it should be a manual by this. I'm going to show you how to do that. But I don't want to make this video very long, but I believe you enjoyed it. I know my comment is not that the best kind of comment. You can use models to like add them to your backend, but I just want to give you a feel of how to use form in Django. And I believe you enjoyed this. In our next tutorial, we'll be working on styles to like make all this look more awesome and beautiful. Thank you for joining me in this tutorial.